a dream. Heaven was a dream. Well, yeah. What else was it going to be? It wasn't like he was dead or anything. The phone rang again, his cell, playing the opening guitar riff from the classic Merle Haggard song, The Fight Inside of Me. Dazed, Tom followed the sound to find the phone. It was on his computer table, jumping and rattling around as it rang. He reached out and grabbed it, looked at it to see who was calling. "Number blocked," said the words on the readout screen, which meant it was probably Lisa McKay, his editor at the Sentinel. What time is it anyway, he wondered. What did she want from him this early on a Saturday morning? Tom answered, "Yeah?" The phone crackled against his ear. Static, loud static, a wash of white sound like the sound of the ocean in a seashell. Something about that noise raised goosebumps on Tom's arm, though he couldn't have said exactly why. It was just that the static sounded strangely far away. It echoed as if it were coming to him up out of a deep well. It made Tom feel as if he were listening to a noise from a foreign, alien place, another planet or something like that. Weird. "Hello?" he said more loudly. Nothing. No answer, just that weird, white, alien noise. And then, wait, there was something. There was someone on the line. A voice, a woman's voice, talking beneath the rattle and hiss. "I need to talk to you. It's very important." The words, like the static, seemed to come to him from across a great distance. Tom just barely caught those two phrases. After that, the words were unintelligible. But the woman was still talking, and her tone was insistent, urgent, as if she was desperate to be heard. "Hello? You've got a bad connection," said Tom loudly. You're breaking up. I can't hear you." The woman on the other end tried again. She wasn't shouting or anything, just talking in a very firm, insistent tone, trying to get through to him. Tom listened intently. He thought he recognized her voice, but he couldn't quite place it. He thought he heard the word, "please." He thought he heard the phrase, "you have to." But aside from that, the words were washed away by that ceaseless, distant, echoing static. It was frustrating. "I can't hear you," Tom began to say again, but then it stopped. All of it stopped. The voice, the static, it was all gone, and the phone was silent. There were a couple of beeps on the line. Tom lowered the phone from his ear and checked the readout. Connection lost. For a minute, he tried to figure out who it had been, whose voice he had heard. It was so familiar. He had been this close to recognizing her. But no, he just couldn't get it. He shrugged and put the phone back on the computer table. Whoever it was, she'd call back for sure. She sounded like she really wanted to talk to him. Tom sat up in bed, tossing the comforter aside. He shook his head to clear it. Weird call. Weird noise. Woke him up out of that great dream, too. What was it? Oh, yeah, he remembered. Heaven. He sat there, looking around at the room. It was funny. He actually felt a little disappointed to be back from his dream, to be here again. It had been a nice dream, a restful place. And now the memories of it were breaking up in his mind, the images trailing away like smoke in the wind. He could barely remember what it had been like, and he was sorry to see it go. He got up, went to the dresser, started pulling out some clothes, dropping himself into them, sweatpants and a tiger's sweatshirt. He figured he'd go for a run after breakfast, maybe hit the gym at the Y. His room was small. The bed, the dresser, and the work table were all crowded together. Just about every space on the blue wall was covered with some picture or decoration or something. There was his unusually long American flag, his pennant for the Tigers, the school's football team, another pennant for the Los Angeles Dodgers, even though, let's be honest, they were going to stink this year. There was a picture of his brother, Bert, looking all brave and noble and cool in his army uniform, and a bulletin board with some snapshots of Tom and his mom and Bert and some of Tom's friends. Then there were a couple of framed copies of the Sentinel. There was the issue that had his first front-page story on it, Governor Visits Springland High. And there was another, the one with the big story.